What is happening, everybody? Welcome to Hearthcenter, the 5-year THL Anniversary Edition. I am Donde. I am here excited to talk about, well, we're going to talk about Pro tonight, but we're also going to talk about the all-time PPR player power ranking list of Legacy and Hero. Yes, some have noticed that our special guest tonight is the one, the only, the mustache. It's Jammies. Welcome back, buddy.
How's it going, man? It's good to be back.
Glad to have you. It's been what? It's at least a year since you've been here as one of the founding members of Hearthcenter.
Yeah, it's been a long time. You know, the coronavirus has made everything feel like thousands of years ago. So
That's true. It's very true. You guys might notice the absence of one Brushy Tuna this evening, as he is an active member of the military. This is a day for him, Veterans Day. So shout out to Brushy. Thank you, Brushy, for all that you do for THL and the country. He will not be here, but TwoStarMako's here. Mako, how you feeling tonight, buddy?
I'm feeling great. You know why?
Because you get to be the hype man tonight?
Nope.
Shaman's coming back?
Why. Shaman never left. Keep guessing.
I have to keep guessing. Because you are winning in the picks?
That hype has been going on for weeks, bud. That's nothing new. I'm hyped because something no one else cares about but me, but I came up with a very my most proud intro line for a show on a tweet, and I'm currently typing it up, and I'm very excited.
All right.
It's so stupid, and I love it. I love running the Twitter, guys. I really do. Because I can just do whatever the fuck I want, and no one's stopping me. So
it's true. I mean, I guess if you get totally out of line, Twitter will stop you, but
we're not
yet.
We're not trying to Robobson this place. We'll be fine.
Rip Robobson's first and second accounts.
And second.
First and second. Third one still lives, though, which is good. I always expect to wake up to see that I'm not following it anymore. But not yet, not yet. Lotus is also here, hanging out down there, uncammed but gift, finally. Lotus, how you doing?
Yep, I'm doing great. How are you, Donde? Really happy to be here in this very special episode.
I am awesome as always, and you're right, it is a very special episode. This is, not only are we going to talk about what we normally do, which is the previous week in Pro, the upcoming week, which is playoffs, by the way, playoffs, in case you are not aware. Then we get to do our all-time PPR. We get to do a giveaway tonight as part of our celebration of the 5-year anniversary. Make sure to stay tuned. You got to the giveaway for some packs. Mako, how many packs are we giving away again?
$10 worth, whatever that equates to. I don't remember.
Yes, $10 of packs. So those will be coming to you when the expansion drops, of course. Unless you really, really want the old expansion packs, I'm sure we can make that happen for you. But I would imagine people want the new ones. So yeah, packs when.
I did give somebody one time packs for the prior expansion on accident. I remember that.
We've all done that. I did that to my Anadon.
They were very cool
one time.
I think it was 9 eyebrows. I don't remember, but they were really cool with it. They're like, it's fine, I'll take them. It's whatever. I was like, oh shit, okay.
Yeah, I 100% have done that, and it's very embarrassing. But yes, my Anadon, shout out to him being very gracious about it, regardless, because it is free packs at the end of the day, which is great. So, why don't we jump into what happened last week in Pro? A lot of stuff happened, but nothing really too surprising. So I'm gonna go ahead. We're not gonna be discussing the meta tonight because we've talked that up to death, and nothing's really changed the last few weeks. And by the way, we have a match after this too. So Mako versus your mum kid.
Unbeknownst to me, we have a match after
Somehow,
this.
unbeknownst to Mako, I believed that he was the one who told me, but I don't know who told me.
I did not sign up to be on stream, and then I found out via content announcement I was being on stream, so...
best way to find out.
Sure.
I don't know how it happened, but like your mom kid messaged me today and was just like, hey, just confirming that we're on stream tonight. I was like, yeah, you're good to go. And I was like, well, he didn't message me before. Somebody else told me about this match, and then we set it up this way. I have no idea where the heck it came from, so I apologize.
There's a difference between telling you about the match and telling you that the match wants to be streamed. You know that, right?
Implied consent, my friend.
That's not how it works. Do not listen to him.
That is a next level move by your mom. That's right,
horrifying.
Well, before we talk about the picks, before we talk about what happened last week, let's take a look at our picks last week. Mako, you won again, which makes me
Of
hurt
course.
in all the places of my body. I came in second with Lotus. You can see that we both got 17 there, and Brushy tried to go the anti-Mako route, and it failed miserably. So Jammies, you have to take the collar for Brushy since he's not here tonight. So
I got it, man.
yeah.
I can do this.
So how do you feel about only getting 11 right last week?
What?
Only getting 11 picks right. Like, that's terrible. 11 out of 30 games.
Um.
You said you had this.
Oh yeah, no. I wasn't aware that I made picks last week.
I don't think Brushy was aware either.
Oh well. You know what? I'm a little rusty. I've been getting ready for the playoffs. You know, I had an off week. All the grades have an off week. But we're gonna pick it up, and we're gonna get that 30 for 30 next week for sure.
Well, that's going to be a little tough considering there's only 10 games this week.
Across all the series, man. See, you're thinking too small.
That's true. We're all rolling with 10, and Jammies, aka Brushy, is going to end up with 30 and come back for the win.
Wait,
I respect the hustle.
Mm-hmm.
Are you allowed to pick if your team didn't make semifinals?
Hey, what was that?
Are you allowed to pick if your team didn't make semifinals?
I mean, yeah. That's the only thing I have at this point. I don't get to play anymore. A pick.
True.
Are you the only one?
I'm the only. Well, I mean, Mako's my team captain, so technically he's not in the playoffs either. And Brushy's definitely not in the playoffs, so he's been out of the playoffs for like 3 weeks.
So is that one person making picks?
I mean, we're all making picks. I'm not gonna give anything away, but Lotus, don't make me change my pick on your team, okay? This week.
Sure.
Anyway, let's talk about what happened last week. We are going to start at the top with For the Boys versus F2L. For the Boys did get the win, but F2L gets in the playoffs, which I know, Jammies, I know that's what you were hoping for. You guys just got over the hump. I was following these games as the night went on Sunday because for some reason all you jerks decided to not schedule till Sunday, and we're over here sweating it. So once Aeon got eliminated by Due Process, who had a huge week, which we'll get to in a few seconds, it was up to F2L to clutch it out, and Itachi did just that. He was down 0-2 against Fichot and had to get 2 points to at least get F2L into the playoffs. So which he did. 15-13 win for the boys, but that hardly matters. So Jammies, talk to us a little bit about what happened here.
Yeah, so I was supposed to play our first match Saturday morning, but you know, my dad called me up and said he needed some help, so I had to take care of some business. Thanks to my opponent, though, whose name I'm blanking on right now.
Mata.
Mata. I was going to say Mata. But it don't matter. He was really helpful and understanding and let us reschedule our match. But I had a feeling that my team was really going to need me this week because it was a really tough opponent, so I took some extra time and, you know, really looked at his past lineups and, you know, thought about what he had been bringing in. I mean, I'll talk about it now because my strategy was pretty obvious that I just saw what he had brought 4 straight weeks in a row and brought decks that I thought were good against all 4 of them. But then after that, it was still, you know, I had saw by that point, like it was Sunday mid-afternoon, like Due Process had climbed up, and I was really surprised at how well they had done. I know you guys had predicted that they were going to win, and they were going to win pretty significantly and almost enough to the point where they could take that 4th seed. So, you know, it was surprising, but definitely not, you know, unexpected. So, you know, we were really just talking about it in the chat, like in our group, you know, calculating like how many points we needed and what everybody needed to do for the rest of the night to eke it out, and it came down to Itachi's match, and you know, we were telling him not to give us mid-game updates, but but you know, he clutched it out, man. He played some really, you know, he didn't win, but he did what he needed to do to get us into the playoffs.
Yeah, that's all that matters is getting to that next phase of the season, and like you said, that's what Itachi did. That's what you guys needed to have happen. I was a little excited because I lost Sunday night, which was effectively eliminating Aeon. Because if I had gotten the win, I would have got 2 more points. Then we would have been tied with due process. And I was like, you know what? If F2L just passes us both, then I know at least my loss didn't matter. So I was kind of pulling for it at that point just to know that I wasn't the one that caused us to get eliminated. Not that I had anything against due process in any way, but I just didn't want to be like worried, like or like sitting there all off season being like, this is my fault, I did it. But then you guys got there, so this should be interesting. And as Ted alluded to here in chat, we might see a little rematch here coming first round of the playoffs, which we'll talk about in a little bit. So, Mako, what are your thoughts here on For the Boys versus F2L?
It feels bad getting edged out of playoffs by someone who lost the week. It really does.
Yeah, especially when your team, it being Aeon in this case, we won the week, but which we'll get to, of course,
Yeah.
but not by enough. And of course, there were 10 other weeks in the season that we could have done better in, that would have not led to us needing extra points this week. So, Lotus, any thoughts on this before we move on to match number 2?
Really good match overall. I think just highlights the talent of these teams. Pro was so insane this season, and I'm glad that both of these teams made it so we can see them at least have one more match. I don't know against
For
whom,
sure,
but it will be a good match.
it will definitely be a good match. All right, let's take a look at match number 2. This one a little less impactful in the playoff standings here. Hyper Horizon defeats the Unknown 13-8. We had 3 wins on the side of Hyper Horizon: Cool Kid, Liquidox, McBanterface. Solo Jazz gets the solo win for the Unknown, and then it looks like D-Money and Skittles no contested, as the Unknown well out of the playoff race at this point. Hyper Horizon could not overtake For the Boys and were above Bad to the Bone. Not that it really mattered. If Bad to the Bone passed Hyper Horizon, they would be just playing each other from the other seed anyway. It's not like there's a home field advantage here in THL, so Hyper Horizon just, sitting number 2. They're fine. This one here, not really surprising. I think a lot of us had this outcome, with the exception of Tuna, who, of course, picked the Unknown across the board. But
Sorry, guys.
thank you for jumping. I appreciate it. You're getting into it now. Yeah, there's, I guess, not too much surprising here. Does anybody have anything they'd like to specifically discuss regarding this match?
Nope.
All right. Yeah, I figure where the matches and they're not that relevant, we can just keep moving here.
We're in playoffs now.
We're in playoffs now. If you ain't a playoff team, we don't talk about you anymore. Bad to the Bone versus Canadian Clown Fiesta. This was a 16-10 win for Bad to the Bone, and this was another one. Bad to the Bone was pretty surely a playoff team. However, if things went very, very wrong for them this week, it could have resulted in them falling out of the playoffs. This is not the case. Avi gets a win, Lotus gets a win, Dardar gets another win. So you guys did plenty enough to get the job done here against Canadian Clown Fiesta, who had a bit of a disappointing season, overall finishing at 3-8. So Bad to the Bone, playoff bound once more. Lotus, what do you think? This matchup. We'll get to we'll talk about how you feel going into the playoffs when we get to the preview section, but let's talk about just this week right now.
This week we did what we always do, which is not talk to each other much, but last minute send messages of encouragement. And it seems to work, so we're keeping our team strategy. And yeah, it worked out. I mean, I still don't get why I banned Warlock, but it was correct statistically.
I mean, it obviously worked because you swept, so there you go.
Mm-hmm. You can't really criticize like a lineup decision when you go 3-0.
Right.
Yeah, that's that. What do they call it? The like objective based.
Results based.
Results based criticisms or whatever it is. Like, yeah, I mean, when you win like that so convincingly, it's hard to be too mad with how it all worked out. But Avi did the same as you with a sweep at the top of Wengor. So big week for Bad to the Bone. Good little confidence booster going to the playoffs. Was Yoxter's man correct? Saku asked. Lotus, was Yoxter's man correct?
Yes,
Lotus,
it was.
okay,
I think it
so
was
he's
correct.
overcome.
I expected Demon Hunter or Paladin, but Demon Hunter made sense. Paladin was probably a little bit better.
All right. Mako or Jammies, anything here? Moving on to match number 4.
Nope.
First, I thought you were trying to come up with the old football adage that winning fixes everything. I did not know that you were going to go in the other direction.
No, I mean,
That's all I have to say about that match.
that's all right. Yeah. All right, we got match number 4, which was Aeon versus the Windkeepers. This one, bittersweet win for Aeon, 15-12. Does not get them into the playoffs. Windkeepers successfully played spoiler here. Got enough wins with Nails and Agent PWE, beating yours truly and Ridiculous Hat, respectively. And then Markshire and Neshi Boston and Risen all finished the season on a strong note. So I was the only player on the team without a winning record, and the team itself was also 6-5. So Aeon, a decent season yet again, coming up just short. Second season in a row just outside of playoff contention. Windkeepers, though, I think had a pretty strong showing for a team that kind of came into existence late in the offseason, last offseason, and by all accounts were not really projected to be a team that did a whole lot a whole lot of damage, but I think that they were a pretty good team overall. Mako, would you agree with that?
Yeah. I mean, they definitely took me by surprise. I don't think anybody really had them pegged for a playoff team.
No.
For most of the season, but they definitely did better than I expected them to.
Yeah, we had as a group, all of us had them in 11th out of 12th places to start the season. And we all made our own rankings, of course, but all of us independently had them at second to last. So there was really nowhere to go but up. But to look at the teams that they were around, 1 point behind the Weishas, 3 points ahead of Unknown. Like, these are teams that were playoff teams from last season, and they are right there with those teams. So definitely a strong showing for the Windkeepers. Aeon, like we said, disappointing. I had us in 5th, so we came up one shy of that. I was the most optimistic, apparently, out of all of us, except for Mako, who had us at 1st, so we let you down pretty hard. But hard to be too disappointed in a strong season against such good opponents, but still looking for that that championship.
We're just really big into edging over here, Aeon. Like, we're gonna get so close, and then we're just gonna full stop.
Is this why our Twitter is gonna get banned right here?
But next season, we're gonna blow up. First place.
I appreciate the confidence.
Thank you. I mean, you're welcome.
I don't even know where we're going anymore. Jammies, any thoughts here?
I'm tired, man. Dude, I had to give Ice Step to 6 kids today from 8:30 to 3 p.m. 6 fucking kids, and I didn't have any coffee. I didn't have any lunch. I am fucking dead, and I have to play a match after this on stream because I didn't sign up for it. So if I want to make an edging joke, I'm gonna make an edging joke on stream, okay? I'm pissed.
I mean, okay. You heard it here first.
I'll be here, man.
Jammies, I tried to ask you if you had anything. Do you have anything?
I do. Mako being let down by Donde. I see a recurring theme here. I wouldn't get your hopes up.
See, I feel like this is just like karma biting me in the ass because I picked against Donde every single week
You did.
of our picks, and I ended up winning our picks, and then karma was like, you can have your pick wins, but Donde's gonna screw you in the end. Yeah, exactly. What did it cost me? It cost me everything, evidently.
I mean, in fairness, I was as close to a coin flip as you can get with an odd number of games, so...
True, and I'll say this, to be fair, if you would have won, we still wouldn't have made playoffs.
Right, which is all I was really hoping for.
We needed Hat to win here to make playoffs, so... that's fine.
Yeah.
We're fine.
Right. Like, so just looking at this match, like, and looking at the overall standings, like, it just shows how close. Like, there were 6 teams that were right there. And then the Beard Boys, like, were within a week. Like, there were 17, so it's like a week's amount of points. So it's just crazy. 4 teams make it, and the worst. Like we were tied with Bad to the Bone for the lowest record at 7-4. So and that's ultimately what you needed to make the playoffs. That's crazy.
Yeah, I think Aeon actually went 8-3 last season and missed the playoffs or something stupid like that. Like,
Yep.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
competitive when you only have 4 teams making the playoffs in a series like this. There's gonna be good teams that get cut out. That's just the way it is.
I think Dad needs to step in here and step out of the captain role and start playing to push his team over the edge into playoffs contention. I think Aeon needs a little bit of that HSA juju, to get us into the playoffs and the contention.
Every captain knows when they need to sub out. If you see Donde playing against a top 5, top 6 player,
Wow.
you gotta sub him out, man. He can't take it. He's gonna give up home runs. He's gonna give
We're
up all.
against
Yeah, you don't want to let me go in the third time to the lineup. That's for sure.
Rip.
Blake Snell, rip.
Yeah.
Oh man.
He could have 3 wins in a row, dude. I don't care if he's playing against somebody good. I want you to take him out. We need Big Daddy Mako in there.
If Mako does that and then goes like 3-0 or something, we're never gonna hear the end of it. All right,
Just
on to
move
another.
on to the due process one so I can
would
cry
only
on
know
stream.
that-
Here we go. Due process. What was that, Lotus?
If I can note one thing before we move to the next match,
Sure.
seems like the Win Keepers had enough wins to keep Aeon away.
Glad we stuck around for that. On we go to due process. The surprise team of the season comes up 1 point short of the playoffs. They did smash this week though with an 18-8 win over Tap Last. Everybody getting a win except for Dr. Bomd BOMD against Jester 3-2. Tap Last did not have a great season. It seems like the teams that win it all end up having kind of the letdown the season after. But that I guess means with F2L success that Tap Last will be right back again next season. So no worries there. But yeah, sometimes the meta just doesn't work for you. But what I'd like to talk about here is Due Process, who we pretty much universally had as last. Like we all thought that they were going to be completely non-competitive after the season they had last season. FBM comes in, goes 8-2. Goose comes in, goes 8-3. JR made some great moves on this team, and it shows. And the team just missed the playoffs because of it. Lotus, I'll start with you on this one here. Due Process surprised us all. Do you think that they have a bright future going forward, or was this like a one-time thing for them?
I think they do. I think Due Process is a really strong team. They have really good players. If JR can keep the squad together one more season, all they need is just maybe a little bit more luck in their bottom seed because FEM2 and Goose killed it. Mr. Python had a great season. Boolean was fine. So if their 5 seed had done a little bit better or just gotten a little bit luckier, this would have been a really strong season for them. And 5th place is nothing to scoff at in a season with such high competition.
Absolutely. Jammies, what do you think?
Look, dude, they almost swept, and their last match came down to a 3-2. Like, it was so close. Like that Game 5 series at the end. Because if he would have won that, they'd be in. It's crazy. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Looking at their top 3 record, like real solid. I don't really know, their other 2 players, but they had a late season resurgence. It just looked like they needed a little bit extra somewhere. Would have gotten them in.
I think it was the first few weeks of the season they kind of got off to a slow start. FBM and Goose were winning, but they weren't getting wins out of the 3, 4, and 5. So it was just not not enough for them to get those early W's. And obviously, if they were just able to get one of those, it would have been enough. So it's it's just a reminder that every game, every match counts just as much. Even though we tend to put a lot of focus on these ones that happen in week 10, week 11 as like the definitive matches, but the points count just the same in week 1 as they do in week 11. So you gotta in a series where only 4 teams make the playoffs, you gotta start hot. You gotta stay hot the whole time. And unfortunately, that's that's the story for Due Process here. Just didn't quite start off strong enough, even though they were one of the most fearsome teams, I think, down the stretch. Like, nobody would have wanted to play that team if it meant the difference between them making the playoffs and sitting out. So definitely shout out to Due Process here. Mako, any thoughts before we move on to our final match here?
This is the most depressing thing I've seen in THL. Like, team struggling so hard, and then at the beginning, and then like from the bottom, just like slowly week by week by week, climbing, getting to the middle, getting in those playoff possible contention situations, and then final week they put up 18 fucking points against defending champions, right? Tap Blast won last season, right? Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, against defending champions, and then they miss playoffs by 1 point.
I mean, it's kind of like the true ending to the movie Dodgeball. They were supposed to lose.
Well,
No spoilers for a movie that's like 15 years old, but
I was gonna say you just described Moneyball. It was just like the story of the A's.
Are you Team Globo, Jim?
No, the actual ending of the movie was supposed to be the part where he loses the one-on-one against Ben Stiller's character, and then they declare the foot fault, and they have to actually do it over, and then they win. Again, no spoilers on a 15-year-old movie. The movie was supposed to just end right there. It was supposed to be like they got so close, and then they just lost. Which I think is hilarious.
I think you're just backtracking. I think you're Team Globo, Jim.
Yeah, a little bit. The unis are hot.
Ben Stiller, man. He's great.
For sure. Rip Jerry Stiller.
All right.
And rip these last two teams, Beard Boys versus the Weishas. Weishas do finish the season on a strong note, winning 14-12 over the Beard Boys, who had been on fire in the last few weeks of the season, beating a lot of really, really highly ranked teams. So this one was all for pride. Weishas do get the win to show that they are still, a strong team that I would like to see them come back next season and, have a little bit more time to prepare for their matches. I know they were doing TESPA stuff, and just in general, these are all college dudes who were busy. First, getting back in the semester here in the fall semester of college. So hopefully they have a little more time, and we can see them reclaim their prior form. So Beard Boys, another team, they've had 2 seasons now where they've been a little bit on the lower end of the standings here, though they did finish towards the middle of the pack this time around. I think this team is. I don't know if they're fully disbanding. I know Booze is not coming back to captain, so I don't know if they're going to have another run at this thing. Are we just spoiling every movie that existed ever now? Not every movie. I mean, I just assume everyone's seen Dodgeball at this point.
I haven't.
Thank you, guys. I always try to go for the segues.
Okay.
So, I guess there's really not much else to say here, unless anybody's got anything that they want to talk about specifically. Turtle did go 3-0 to end the season as a sub, which is pretty cool.
The spicy shaman bands. I like those.
Yeah.
Just don't want to deal with them.
We like to see that.
Both led to losses, so don't ban Shaman.
All
All right.
So we are about to start our all-time player power ranking segment. So we're going to do Legacy first, and then we're going to do Hero. But during this entire segment, this is where we're going to set up for the giveaway. So if you would like to enter the giveaway, you may do so by typing this in chat. I'm going to copy-paste it real quick.
This is him entering himself, guys.
If I win this, I will pull myself out of it. Don't worry about it.
He's not going to.
I win this?
You type in yes, you can, Jammies. Yes, you can. You type in exclamation giveaway. Everyone can enter the giveaway. So type that in now. And at the end of this segment, when we're done talking about Hero PPR, we will draw. So if you got people who, who the hosts aren't going to get it, Diamond. I mean, I'm not going to put myself in. I was just typing in to tell you what it was.
Everyone can win, but board members.
Yeah, board members will not accept a W here. So, so if anybody is not been watching the stream, and you want them to get in here and get a chance to win, or don't tell them because you want to have a better chance to win. That's ruthless of you, but I respect the game.
Oh, Icicles, yes. I think the exclamation point THL points would be a good way to earn or use my THL points, right? Donde?
It would
When's
be a
that happening? When's that
fantastic way.
coming? Is that coming soon?
You know, coronavirus has really set us back on the timetable for that. And,
I feel like it's giving us more time for it.
you know, soon TM is the correct answer.
Yeah. All right.
All right, so let's talk about, before we do this. So we didn't have like a formula per se to set this up. We just kind of looked at, players who have played at least 3 seasons or more, of course. Looked at their win rates, percentage, of course, and then just kind of a general feeling of how do you feel about playing against this player. Like, do you just don't want to, you don't want to come up against them. You know you're in for a tough week, and this is going to span quite some time here, because there's a bunch of players on this list that I had to like talk to Markshire about, because I'm like, I literally don't know who this person is.
So, this is very akin to if you have watched Hearthcenter whenever Jammies was actually a regular host and Donde did the power rankings without a formula.
Oh no, there was a formula.
There
It
was
was
no.
terrible.
It was just not public.
If there was a formula, it was not very good. But this is where all of the heat came at Donde, and I feel like it's about to come at him again. Because
It is.
Yes.
So we're bringing back an old host of the show. So we're bringing
Tried
like a
and
classic
true.
style of the PPR. All right, so we're going to dial this up like we used to as well. We're going to reveal the honorable mentions as a group, and then we're going to go one player at a time as we go from 10 to 1. So keep in mind, this is not just straight up percentages. It's not, who's won the most games. This was carefully plotted and ranked. So here's our honorable mentions for Legacy. So we got Honest Zabe, Hot Asian Girl, yes, that is a person who played in THL, Ironfire, Dear Jason, and Clark Kent. So a lot of these players, outside of Honest Zabe, are inactive at this point. Donde, give away your PS5. That is never happening, Saku. Get out of here with that.
Can you tell the people what the numbers are here?
Well, as you see at the very top, it's...
I didn't see at the very top. My apologies.
Yes, so seasons on the left, games, wins and losses, and then their win percentages on the far right. So if you're looking at this here, you're looking at these are the honorable mention players. We've got players that are north of 64% win rate. So they're winning almost 2/3 of their matches, if not more so. In fact, we have one player who's at 71%. Like, this is... I think Dear Jason was the sneaky hero diamond. So... this is,
Ironfire only played for 3 seasons?
I know, shocking me as well to see that. And this is, of course, not including the current season stats, because that doesn't get rolled into the stat page until
he's not playing right now.
Well, no, I guess Zabe is the only one that would matter.
This is just Legacy, right? Or is this Hero?
This is just Legacy. This is just Legacy right here. So, I know, Jammies, you've been around THL for a while as well. Did you ever play against Ironfire at all?
Yes. I don't know if I directly played against him, but I remember, in the many a times that my teams made the playoffs, playing against Ironfire.
Yeah, I definitely played against him once. I can't remember if it was Legacy or Hero, but I know for sure that there was a lot of added pressure mentally for me, because I knew at that time, I hadn't been in THL a ton. Like, the competitive side of things wasn't, everyone's raising their hands right now. They're raising their hands.
I'm being respectful.
You're being respectful. All right, yeah. I'll stop talking and let Mako talk then.
This Ironfire win percentage here as a 67% would be higher. However, in my very first ever THL match, Sage subbed me into the 1 seed slot on the jumbo scrimps.
Hero team, I thought, though.
No, it was Legacy. I lost to him 1-3. However, I beat him with Kingsbane Rogue whenever it was considered
Oh god,
garbage.
I hate you.
And
Oh, I hate
that
Kingsbane Road.
that was my proudest shining moments for that. Did we join at the same time, Diamond? I have no stinking clue. All I know is I got subbed into the 1 seed as like a 325 PR player who had just come back to Hearthstone after for a grand total of 2 months, and Sage was like, "Here you go. Here's this 550 PR player who's going to kick your ass." So, but I won with Kingsbay Rogue. I was very happy.
Lotus, you've been awful quiet over here. What are you thinking?
I like all these players. I mean, I really only played with Zabe, but the others seem to have an insane record. I really enjoy playing Zabe. We have really fun matches. Usually really tight, and yeah, just a fun player to play against.
All right, so let's start moving into the actual top 10 here. We're going to start to see some Hall of Famers as well, I would imagine, as we get into the top 10. But we're going to start with someone who's not a Hall of Famer, and this hurts me tremendously, by the way. Coles is number 10. His win rate is just stupid, and he's done it for 8 seasons. And I don't like it because it's him, and you all know how I feel about him. So, as a teammate of Cole's for all of these seasons, yeah, it's shocking for him to lose. And again, I'd like to point out this is a guy who's never hit legend.
Wait, really?
Yeah, never, not once.
Wow. Okay.
Motivating, dude.
I mean, he's capable of it. He's just never done it.
Yeah.
You know what? I have a more shocking and comment on a player a little higher up on the list that I don't know if the world knows, but I'm gonna call him out.
All right. Well, we'll wait until we get to that player. But Lotus, I know you've played Coles quite a few times, and I think you beat him every time you play.
I think I am currently positive, or for the first times, I think I won the first and he won. It's been mostly 50-50-ish. I don't know if I'm positive or if we're equal right now. I was up for a little bit and then he was up for a little bit. But it's always really crazy. We had this one match on Legacy semifinals once, and he had figured out this very weird Legacy lineup, and I just played that exact lineup against him the next week, and I'm pretty sure he wasn't expecting it, and it was just a very funny match with a lot of back and forth. So it's always really fun playing against him.
Well, I've only had to play against him once, and it was in Hero, and I did defend my honor, so that was good. So that's all I got for Coles. Anyway, player number 9, the one, the only, Ron Mexico. Wish Brushy was here for this. Ron is played 4 seasons now. This is his 5th. He's 24-12 with a 66.67 win percentage, and he's consistently one of those players that brings his best every week and just seems to keep winning. Obviously, the win percentage does show that he does just keep winning most of the time, and he's usually, at least if not an all-star, in all-star contention most seasons too. And I think he's got a championship as well. So potential future Hall of Famer in Ron Mexico with the with the hardware that he's got. Yeah, Ron, shout out to you in chat. I see. Okay, who paid off Donde? Well, I paid Brushy to go away, and then that was what enabled me to put Ron in the top 10. My PayPal's incoming. Awesome. So I think everybody knows Ron pretty well, and this is not surprising that he's one of the best players currently active in THL.
You PayPal Donde to put you in 9th place?
Yeah, just like they ballot stuffed, but all the Republican senators still won.
I was going to make the same joke, and I'm so glad you did.
It was the cheap package. Okay, got it.
Yeah. The just enough.
Okay.
It's like the meme, Mom, we need vote rigging. No, we have vote rigging at home. This is about. All right. So we go from, in ninth place, a player who is still fairly new to THL, to a player who is not currently active, but ridiculous when he is. Slimsh is number 8. 13 seasons. So he put up 68 wins in 13 seasons with a 64% win rate. This is longevity. Like, this is a guy who he wins every season, like just winning record after winning record after winning record, and is just so consistent in what he does. And he's one of the highest PRs, I believe, if not the. I don't think he's the total highest PR, but he's like in the top 3.
I think Avi is higher than him, if I'm not mistaken. I think he passed
I
him.
thought Avi fell in Legacy recently.
Maybe you might be right.
Yeah.
Is there a decay for not playing?
There is not decay.
No.
But that's a good thing, because if Slimsh could decay and then come back to THL and start whomping people, I guarantee you if he came back and started playing right now, he would be just as good as he was then. He's a phenomenal player. And yeah, this is, I mean, it's shocking that he's only 8th on this list, but that just goes to show how crazy some of the records that we're going to be getting to. He is a Hall of Famer, by the way. This is our first Hall of Famer in the top 10, so shout out to Slimsh.
As well as one of those players you were afraid to play, man.
Oh, absolutely. Without a doubt.
Be like, this dude could bring anything and beat me with anything.
And I think that's going to be a common theme for a lot of these players here, is that they're just total command of every deck in the meta, and it doesn't really matter what they bring. You could give them a lineup and say, you got to play these 4 against me, and you'd probably still have a tough time. So we go from one Hall of Famer to another. This is a guy that predates me. It's Jesus C. 6 seasons, 55 games, 36-19, over 65% win rate. So I don't know too much about him, but I know he was around back in the early days of THL. And he's Diamond, he's a Hall of Famer. Check the site, man. And this is, I don't know too much about him, but looking at the old stats, it does not seem like a player you'd want to play. Did anybody have any experience with him?
Not.
Can't say that I did.
All right, well, we'll move on then, because not much else to say. Just outside of the top 5 here, we have another active player. At number 6 is Ghost. Ghost is in his 6th season in THL, 32-15 in Legacy, 68.09% win rate. Ghost is a player that we've seen just get better and better as he's played in THL. Started a slightly lower seed, I think like a 4 seed, maybe even the 5 seed at some point, and is now just a force. And again, one of those players that is really underranked where they are PR-wise, and can beat, I think, any player in THL on a good day. So I definitely want to say, having played, I've never played against Ghost in THL. I've played a lot of Among Us with Ghost, and like, he's a very analytical person, so it doesn't shock me that translates over very well to Hearthstone.
Can I say my piece?
Say your piece, man.
I would like everybody that has ever lost to Ghost to know this one fact about Ghost that you might not have known. This man does not practice on the ladder. This man practices in his free time against the innkeeper. So if you have lost to Ghost, just know that he beat you by practicing his decks against the innkeeper. So
that's phenomenal, actually.
Everybody this season, whoever he's playing this, I don't remember who he plays in finals here, but just know that if you lost to him, he didn't practice against real people a lot. It was against the innkeeper. So
against the regular innkeeper or the advanced innkeeper, who?
That's a great question. I don't know. I have no clue. Yeah. So. Yep.
Well, okay. I did not. I love the fun facts. This is fantastic.
What happens if you beat him? Congratulations. You beat someone who was practicing against the innkeeper.
No, I think he means the advanced innkeeper. What happens if you beat the advanced innkeeper?
I don't know. I think Ted doesn't Play him in Legacy? I don't know.
If you beat all of them, you gain 100 coins.
You're prepping against him right now. He's been playing more ladder than he was before. I think we used to have to get on him for not for like playing against the innkeeper. and not playing ladder, but he's been playing a lot more ladder than what I'm used to seeing him at.
All right. Well, now we're getting into the top 5 here.
Top five.
Top 5. Number 5, obviously. Another player who's been around for a long, long time. Similar in stats to Cole's there, but a little bit more hardware. 44 and 24 wins and losses, 64.7% win rate. Obviously one of those players that is always seems to be like a 2 seed. I think he always likes to rep those broken teams and then just smashes people. And yeah, he's very, very good. I don't have much else to say about Avi. I think everyone knows what he's capable of on any given week.
I mean, he's been a 1 seed for a very long time now.
Yeah, I might be thinking more in Hero, where he's like a 550 but below the other 550 on his team. But yeah, in Legacy, he's just a consistent player.
Yeah, I get
Obviously,
upset
the
when
best.
I'd always get upset when my 1 seed would lose, and it always happened to be against the weeks that we played against Avi's team, and then I'd have to play him. And from what I can remember losing. I can't really remember winning.
I only have one win against Avi in the most insane match we played against each other, and it was just Elysiana got me the hand buff guy and an insane target. I don't even remember what it was, and it just being the craziest Elysiana in a very memey match with 25 damage, Holy Wrath on turn 8, just all around Fiesta.
Yeah, Avi, I think we've played once, and I don't remember winning. So that's yeah, not surprising to me. So number 4. Rogue JT. So this is a player who is an old player. 4 seasons of play, 33 and 24. I'm sorry, 33 games, 24 and 9, 72% win rate. So this is the first player over 70% since our honorable mentions here, but with an extra season to back it up. So this is kind of a gross win rate. Not even 10 losses, but I don't know much about Rogue. Anybody, anything here?
I do not.
Probably consistently gets 10-10 on 3.
All right.
Rogue JT.
So we are moving to number 3. This one might look a little out of place, but it's Risen, who is 33 and 20 over 6 seasons, 62.26% win rate. Risen is one of those players that dominates the lower seeds. Like he had been 5, 4, and 3 seeds, and he is just like such a good linchpin in any team, like any team's lineup because of his PR. He's such a good value that I think that he deserves a spot high up on this list here. I know this one seems a little out of place though.
I think it's expected. This is a Donde
Yeah.
PR list.
Yeah.
I want to roast you without disrespecting Risen, and I don't know if I can do that because you like messed up so bad. It's just like nominating somebody for the top 10 and then thinking like, a long snapper. Like this is the best long snapper that I've ever seen in my life, and I'm gonna put him number 3 because he's been so much better than all the other long snappers. But I don't think that's how this works. Like.
So you want to know? You want to know what the actual truth is?
What?
What?
I copy pasted wrong, and he was added in there. I was trying to argue it, but he was actually it's a total error.
Where was he at?
He was 16th.
Oh.
But I wanted to leave. Once I
Okay.
realized I made a mistake, I was like, I want to give a roast point, and I felt like I had to at least
Sure.
like talk it up. So, shout out to
Sure.
Risen for actually being just outside our honorable mentions, but that was my bad, and I didn't have time to fix it.
Okay.
So real number 3
Yeah.
coming in. See, I wanted to prove that I could give like an actual like
Sure.
argument for something, and that you guys would believe me. The real number 3 is Blue Sombrero. 67% win rate. Recent Hall of Fame edition as well. 52 games played. Blue is just a dirty player. I've never actually played against Blue Sombrero, but I'm pretty sure that you guys have. Right, Lotus?
It's been a really long time. I played against Blue while I was, I think, on Chigmo's team, which was a while ago. I played for Blue. That was a fantastic experience.
All right. I mean, I guess there's not really much to be said about Blue outside of the fact that we all know what type of crazy player he is.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Number 2 is MMI. 5 seasons. I'm surprised it's only 5 seasons, to be honest with you. 37-15, 71% win rate. Another Hall of Famer. Just never played against him, but just from prepping with him, he approaches Hearthstone in such a ridiculous way. Like the thought process, when lineup building, deck choices, things like that, is just insane. He's not anyone that I would ever feel favored against, even if I had a fantastic lineup into his. So shout out to MMI for being the number 2 PPR best player in THL history and Legacy.
Actually met MMI at DreamHack Atlanta.
Oh.
And he was taller than I expected.
He doesn't sound tall.
He is very tall. You're right. I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm. And he has very dark hair, from what I remember. It's a couple years. Jammies is
how tall are you?
I'm a solid 5'8.5".
All right.
Lies.
All right. Hit us with that Donde number 1.
I don't think anyone's going to argue with number 1. It's Brewski. He went undefeated that Legacy season, and that was one of the most ridiculous feats that anyone's ever seen.
I like how he literally has one more game over MMI.
Yeah.
Which equates to one more win, and that is it. They almost had the exact same.
That's how good these two players are. Is they're basically both the same player.
How many championships does MMI have, though?
2, I want to say.
The stats page doesn't say, does it? Or yeah, it does.
We could find it if we dug, but
yeah, it's gonna take a while. I see. The only thing that I could find is he has a 50% win rate in the playoffs. I think is what this one is. Oh no, season 15 specifically. Never mind.
Diamond says he thinks he has 3 because he coached one. I think that probably makes sense. Just as a reminder, as we go into the hero power rankings here, if you have not entered the giveaway yet, type that in chat, and you get to enter the giveaway. If you enter multiple times, it does not count, so don't bother. But just want to make sure anybody who's jumping in now has the chance to get eligible, because at the end of Hero, we're giving away the packs. So let's talk about Hero. This one might have some controversial stuff. So, Hero is a lot more condensed over its shorter history than Legacy, and the win rates tend to be a little bit more compact as well. We're not going to see as many players at the upper reaches where we see Legacy. So let's just pull this Band-Aid off and show the honorable mentions for Hero. It's your boy. He's on here.
Yeah, Coles. Congratulations, Coles, for making
Shut up. I hate you so much. So we've got DeSharmo, myself, Dexter, Itachi, and Imposition as the honorable mentions here, just right or hovering around 60%. All players that have been playing in Hero for quite some time too. So this is, it was a tough top 10 to break into. Everyone rigged, yes. Cole's a stand-in, Saku. Saku, you're definitely not getting my PS5 now.
I want to do a shout out to someone who taught me how to be a better player in THL. Just really thank you, Impo, for introducing me to the stats methods.
The man does love his numbers, I will say that. Burbs was not my first Hero team. Jammies, what was my first Hero team?
Team Next Level Boys.
Sure was. Team Next Level. That my first introduction to THL, because I played Hero before I ever played Legacy. Thought I really would love Legacy more, and honestly, I've actually loved Hero much more than
Did you
Legacy.
hear? Yeah.
And that team, I won't spoil anything because there's some heavy hitters were on that team that I think we made the finals that very first season I played, or at least the playoffs, and we were pretty loaded.
Yeah, we had some pretty stacked teams back in the day.
All right, let's go to the top 10. A familiar face
Okay.
at number 10. Oh, what you got?
Okay, this is really quick too. All it took was getting rid of Donde for us to win a championship.
Shut up. It's true though.
Uh,
It's all right. I won my Hero Championship later, so it's all good.
and you know who we replaced them with? We replaced them with Coles to win the championship, I think.
No, you didn't.
Was it
Coles has played like barely any Hero, and he's trash in Hero.
I swear he was on that team. Maybe not that season.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what season that was.
He's played like one full season of Hero, and it was the team he pulled together at the last second called the Minutemen, and he was atrocious. Because I played against him that season. That was great. I was so excited. So the actual top 10, Avi is back again. He's just a good player. I don't know if we all have to say anything else about Avi beyond what we've already mentioned. Number 9 is a player I have literally no idea who it is, but it's Joe HS. He's 13-6. Smaller sample size, but 68% win percentage is just so much higher than everybody else in the area around him that I felt like he had to be included on the list. Anybody have any experience with Joe?
He's been elected president of the United States, but it's not confirmed yet.
Well, not officially anyway. Alright, so number 8 is another player that we've already talked about, Ironfire. Fewer Hero seasons, but just as dirty. 68% win rate there. Ironfire. I think we only saw 3 seasons in Legacy as well, right? Three in each, I think it was.
I thought he was around longer than that.
Yeah, it was like 1 year. That was really it.
Mm-hmm.
Number 7 is a Hall of Famer, Merkin Pie. Another player before my time, but 24-11, 68.57 win percentage, and like I said, a Hall of Famer in the very short list of Hero Hall of Famers. So I know this is someone that like Markshire's talked about before, but I have nothing more than what we see here.
Yeah, no idea who that is.
Sorry, we're going to start to get into players that we can actually talk about here as we get to number 6. It's LotusKnight. Hey, Lotus. Everyone can fire up Rigged again. That's fine.
Rigged.
So Lotus, you're now going into your 5th season of Hero. 25-11 before this season, just shy of 70% win rate. Would you consider Hero to be a better series for you than Legacy? Do you enjoy it more, I suppose?
No. This season, no. Other seasons, yeah, I'm usually... Hero, there's some tricks you can play that work better than in Legacy. There's some really interesting strategies you can pull in Hero that just don't work in Legacy. So, I like Hero when I can pull these strategies. This meta was not very favorable for things like that. So, yeah, I don't know. It was... there are some metas. The Ashes of Outlands meta was really good for Hero. Just really solid Hero meta. It's all about figuring out those decks that can squeak some wins in Hero with some very weird matchups.
All right then. Well, congrats on being one of the top 10 most fearsome Hero players of all time in THL.
Thank you.
And I got a text from Coles that just said, "Gotcha." Jerk.
Tell him, man.
So we move on to number 4, and this is number 5 rather. This is why I got all confused because Risen's actually on this list, and it's very, very deserved. 69.39, a nice win percentage there over 6 seasons. So very consistent player over several seasons. I think a potential future Hall of Famer if he. I don't know exactly what his record this season is, but if he can keep going at the rate he's going, I see no reason why he might not be in that short list of inclusions in Hall of Fame for Hero. Anybody played against Risen at all?
Is
Oh, yeah.
Risen supposed to be on this list right here?
Yes,
in this
this is
spot down there?
supposed to
Okay.
be. He is supposed to be on this list.
Okay.
Yeah, he was higher in Hero than he was in Legacy, and I think it was because at that since he'd been playing in Legacy earlier, like his PR was lower when he first entered that one, but then it was higher when he was in Hero, so he was playing like as the 1 or the 2 seed in Hero and towards the bottom in Legacy.
Yeah. That's the same thing that happened to me in Hero. I started with a much lower PR, which made it easier to climb.
Yeah, Risen as a pro teammate this season, very very driven, very good player, and I would put him up against any player. Nope, don't care about the PR. He's capable of beating anybody. I mean, we're about to get into some real insane stuff in the top 4 here, so hold on. Our boy Fuel is at number 4, another former teammate of mine in pro. Only 3 seasons played, but I think no one will dispute the fact that Fuel is one of the best pure last hero standing players in THL of all time. 76% win rate is absolutely absurd. That means he's losing 2 times per season, and it's probably not going to be against you. And I mean that against anybody, because he's just so good at Hero. Saku thinks that guy's a bum. I'd like to see Saku versus Fuel.
Playing Fuel and Hero is always so insane. We've played against each other a few times. If I'm not mistaken, we're 50-50 in Hero, but it's always so crazy because there's a lot of mind gaming, just a lot of trying to predict what the other person's going to do. Some players have that. Like, I have that with Avi, and it's always hilarious. And I feel like there's a lot of that with Fuel as well.
All right, moving on to our number 3 player. This is a man of 2 names, Try, or Glee, if you know him as such. Another player that Jammies you're very familiar with. He's slightly below Fuel in win percentage, but he's got a full under his belt, though it's only 2 more games. Try is just such a good player. Obviously, just barely missing out on Grandmasters this season too, and yeah, he's extremely talented. So, Jammies, tell us a little about Try.
Try or Glee is a great man. Yeah, he's Murloc Priest. Yeah, I still remember that. So I met him through the Next Level team, and he was looking for some extra opportunities just to like play some games, and he was really close with Carrie at the time, so that's how I met them. Kind of together. And he just like the way that he thinks about the game, dude. He's like, not only is he like really analytical and really like detailed about the percentages in each individual matchup, but then he is like, all right, so how can I just like out line up my opponent? And that's where the Murloc Priest thing came from, dude. Where he's just like I feel like I can just win with this deck, and like no one played it. Like it wasn't a ladder deck. It wasn't even a meme deck. It was just like something that I don't even remember where he got it from, but it was amazing to see him just go off. Yeah, it was one of my better THL experiences, and I mean I'm teammates with him now on F2L. But just like back then, that seemed like a really cool, like that team that we had was just really awesome, and he was definitely like the dude telling us how to play our games. I remember specifically. I think Diamond remembers this too. It's just like Diamond, play these decks and you'll win, and that's how we won our games.
I think every team has like a player like that where they just are so good at prep that you just kind of go with what they say some of the time.
Mm-hmm.
And like for our legacy team, or Bobson is like that too, where we just kind of, if he overrules something we say, we just kind of go like, okay, you got it, and it usually works. So, all right, on number 2. Number 2 is Switters. Another player with only 3 seasons, but 77%. I believe I played against Switters once. I can't recall the outcome, but it was about 2 years ago at this point. Switters came back for like 1 season, I think, and then left again. But doesn't lose, just doesn't lose in Hero. Yeah, you're right, Ted. 77% is nuts. Which means the last player on this list is nuts as well. Slightly lower win percentage, but many more games played. It's Carey, who you just mentioned, Jammies. Carey is the best Hero player of all time, pound for pound. 28-13, championships under the belt. Carey is ridiculous, man.
Too is just, and like those two guys, they like played a lot the same, and Carey would. My favorite memory of him was that I was friends with him for a long time before, but he also came to DreamHack Atlanta, and he was just like, yeah, I submitted the highest win rate decks. He like hadn't played the game in a couple of months, and he didn't have any of the cards for or he didn't have like a lot of the cards. So like that day, like the day before, like the first round, he just like bought 100 packs and like hoped that he had opened the cards that he needed to play, and then like hardcore looking through all of them to disenchant as much as he could to make the decks, and he ended up with a positive win rate. I think he ended up like the first day undefeated, and then just the second day was really hard on him. He was one of the people that brought even Shaman when that was like a great deck, and then everyone found out that deck was ridiculous, so they started banning it, and he didn't have as good of a time.
Yeah, Carey, I mean, I can second what you said there. He's the type of player that doesn't need to practice, really, and doesn't need to do a whole lot of thinking before he hops into a match. He just goes, and everything just seems to fall into place for him. And I never had to play against him, but I was teammates with him, and it's just he's just crazy. Like I never doubted that when he would finish playing that I would come back to, yep, 3-1 this week. It's just like it was just taken for granted that he was going to get a win.
Hard carry.
Hard carry. All right. So before we get into our playoff preview for Pro, we are going to go ahead and complete the giveaway. So this is your last chance. If you haven't typed in, what is it? Exclamation mark, enter giveaway. We're going to do 15 seconds. 15 seconds and then shut off.
Guess not.
That's what you gotta type. Everyone get it in, get it in.
In terms of giveaway, some people say giving is better than receiving, and what a better way to give to THL than by subbing to THL? You can do so for free with Twitch Prime, and it helps keep servers going, helps get events like the giveaway and other things happening. So you can always sub for free if you have Twitch Prime.
Shout out to Maybe There Were None and Jammies for subbing to the channel. We appreciate everything that you guys do.
Maybe There Were None is LotusKnight.
Yeah, I had to sub.
All right, the results are in. It is the result. The result is in. The winner of the packs. Yeah, drum roll, drum roll. Is Nefola. Yeah.
Donde, you were supposed to make me the winner, dude.
I'm sorry,
I thought
man.
if I used my channel points.
Yeah, it didn't work that way, man. Sorry.
I know I don't have Nefola on my friends list. So Nefola, if you have any of the board members on your friends list, that's fine. But if not, add me, and then we'll get the packs to you whenever we're actually able to, which would be 2 weeks. So hopefully you have a board member on your friends list already.
Does he even go here, man? Does he even go here?
We're about to find out.
I pulled it a second time just for fun. I wanted to let the person know who was the runner-up. Is Ron Mexico? So, second Ron, suck it. Second place.
Never first.
Never first. Wasn't first in the Legacy Power Rankings, and wasn't first in the giveaway.
Tuna would have been so happy.
He would have been. I could just picture him watching the VOD losing it.
It would just be losing it here. I miss him today.
Oh man. Well, let's talk about the playoffs for Pro. So these are our 4 teams. It's a 2-week playoff, of course, semifinals and finals. For the boys versus F2L, a rematch from last week. Not exactly the same players playing each other. Jammies, I know you get to play Mata again, so glad you gave away your strategy from last week against Mata there. But Itachi versus Faux Show, Berserk versus Dabs, Rescue Wabbit versus German Chef, and Buck Nasty versus Glee Try by any name. This is going to be good again. It was close last week. I can't see it not being close again. Jammies, why do you think F2L is going to go to the finals?
Assuming that I think that. And you'd be right in your assumption. No, I like. We feel confident. The way that the meta is right now, it's just a lot of who gets the best created by cards, and who gets their Librams reduced to 0 the quickest. Shout out to my Paladin players. And we just feel like even in the matches that we lost, we feel confident that head to head we can beat these guys, and no disrespect to them, but that's just how confident we are. My record isn't the best, and Itachi also has a losing record, but I wouldn't count against him either. I wouldn't count against myself. I know I haven't played in THL in the longest, and the biggest reason I came back was because Glee said he wanted to come back and would only come back as my partner because he knows how great of a player I am. And when you have the number 1 hero player requesting your services, you got to answer. So.
Well, he's the number 3 hero player, but
sure.
Who's counting?
Yeah. 3, 1, 2.
It's all just numbers. It's all just numbers.
Yeah.
All right. So looking at our picks here, I did pick a For the Boys win. I got Jammies and Berserk getting W's here for you guys in F2L, but I do think it's going to be a close one again with For the Boys winning. So Jammies, I hope I'm wrong for your sake, man, but that's my picks this week. Lotus, you were a little bit more convinced that this is going to be a bigger gap than that. Why don't you take us through your picks here?
Yeah, I think this is going to be a bit bigger. I think F2L, it's a great team, but For the Boys has been killing it this season. And I don't think they're falling now. I think they're going to win. Berserk is insane, and I think Berserk is getting a win. But other than that, I think For the Boys takes it.
And Mako?
Sorry, I'm sending. Nafola didn't know that they won the packs, so even though they're still in chat, so I'm sorry. I think we're gonna see a close match, but For the Boys is going to edge out F2L here again, just like last week. I think we're gonna see a bit of a repeat. To be honest, from last week.
So you actually have
I know what I have.
A 3-2 win for F2L, but
I know what I have.
Points are going to go to For the Boys. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, that's a bold pick.
Just to address Jar Jar, I think, in the way that we lost some of our matches last week came down to percentages where we thought we took the best line, but didn't get the percentages. So what I'm saying is that in a repeat matchup, hope we know that our lines are there. We just gotta hope that some of the coin flips don't completely wreck. Just to give you an example, it wasn't this week, but the other week, I lost in a really favored matchup where the rogue, the faceless lackey, summoned a Khadgar, and then then he played another one, and it summoned that freaking frog, the magic frog, that shoots 1 damage for every spell that you cast. And I had a board full of 1 health stealth minions, and I just got there was no coming back from that. I know Frog. God, Diamond. I almost called you Donde out of frustration.
Wow. So you get mad and you say my name? That's weird.
Yeah. It's like in anime they say Nani, and because I'm Mexican I say Donde.
I did not know that, but I'll take your word for it. All right. Well, let's talk about our second match here. This is the 2 and 3 seed match of Hyper Horizon versus Bad to the Bone. This is going to be another close one, I think. Cool Kid versus Avi, Liquidox versus Atomos, McBanterface versus LotusKnight, Gamer RVG versus Darterbanks, and D Money versus AT Battleship. I don't see a way this doesn't become a 3-2 as well. I've got Avi, Atomos, and Dardar winning for Bad to the Bone to send them to the finals in a slight upset over Hyper Horizon. And this is, I mean, this I guess would be considered like a disappointing run for Hyper Horizon, considering we had them as like the number one team for most of the season. They were the number one team until 4 of the Boys passed them later in the second half of the season. But Bad to the Bone has been consistent this whole time, and I think that they have the juice to win this one. So Lotus, I think you will get there, even though I have you losing. So it's nothing personal against you, but I think your team makes it to the finals. Lotus, you can talk to us now about why you think that your team is going to come out on top.
I think we'll make it to the finals because we're actually sending messages to schedule where our opponents are not answering.
That is helpful. Yes, that is something you need to do.
Yeah, no, not taking that into account. Really, I think it's going to be a good match. I'm excited to see Hyper Horizon versus Bad to the Bone. I'm giving it full to my team, but I know full well that's likely not happening. It's going to be a tight match. I just need to side with the Bones.
All right, and Mako, what do you think?
I think we're gonna see a For the Boys versus Bad to the Bone finals.
All right, and I think you picked the exact same as me, right down the match.
Not sure.
Well, I guess I'm not gaining any points on you this week.
You're not going to.
Jammies, who do you think F2L is going to play in the finals?
It's going to be hype, and the only reason is because Liquidox is also in our Discord chat, and I got to shout him out. Can't root against a fellow boy.
Yeah, shout out to Liquidox. Happy birthday last week, buddy, as well.
Yeah, welcome to adulthood, man. Taxes and
yeah, taxes and being 18, and
yeah,
it's really
lottery
just all
tickets,
downhill from here. I don't know what else is legal at 18 over in England, so.
He's been able to drink since he's 16, so there's nothing to look forward to.
Yeah, like
from here.
It's like I said, it's all downhill.
Yeah.
So. All right, well that's it for our playoff preview here. Only the 2 matches, of course. So good luck to all the players, and we'll be back again next week to talk about the finals. But we have a little bit of an extended Hearthcenter for you tonight. Of course, we're going to be featuring the one, the only, the TwoStarMako playing against your Mumkhead, shaking his head right now. That's coming up.
You know the saying, "I didn't sign up for this." I literally didn't sign up for this. This was thrust upon me.
It's so much fun, though.
It's not. I would just like to say, I've never seen it, Donde, so I have no clue.
That's Diamond. That's Diamond again.
Diamond, whatever.
Second time.
I would just like to say that when I get swept on here, on stream, this is 100% Donde's fault, and everything needs to be taken out on him. So
if you lose, it's my fault, but if you win, it's your skill, right? That's how it works.
Yes, correct. Thank you.
Right.
Someone just left.
Oh,
well, all right.
We lost Jammies.
He said bye-bye. Nope, there he is.
Oh.
Where is the 2-StarMako from then? It's from Kill La Kill, not Akame ga Kill. You got the wrong kill there, bud.
I thought you were Mako from Yu-Gi-Oh.
No, it's Mako from Kill La Kill.
Lotus, I'm just noticing you asked to announce the honorable mentions for Hero. Do you want to go back and do that?
Please no.
No, I did the joke I was going to do.
Sorry, I don't read
It
the
was
chat
still
while
pretty
I'm
bad.
mopping.
You watch Kill la Kill, Diamonds. That's the best one.
Do
All
watch
right, let's
Kame
get
ga
this.
Kill. It's pretty good.
Let's
let's
get this match going.
started.
It's 10:24. I want to get this match going.
You know we
Can
start
I
at
just
10:30.
say-
We had at 10:30. That's how we do. We're giving you 6 extra minutes here.
Yeah, but like, Donde, you know, very often I schedule my matches for during Hearthcenter, not after. So I would be playing
guess
it
what? You'll be
already
playing
while
during
I'm talking.
Hearthcenter. You're playing during Hearthcenter. We're just happen to
I
be
guess.
broadcasting at this time.
Yeah.
Can I just say one thing before
Sure.
the match? If you haven't yet, please fill the survey for Schoolstone's special Family Feud episode. I can
Yes.
now say 7 of the names that are announced to be on stream. So confirm right now we have Tuna, Saku, Sage, Diamond, Icicles, Hat, and Ron. 4 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. It's going to be insane. I'm going to post the survey now. If you can, just put whatever first comes to your mind and get excited because it's going to be a hilarious episode.
I have a follow up to that because I think all 5 of these people are in chat actually. So Osmonaut, Dabs, Diamond, German Shep, and Based Inc. board member, by the way. You need to submit your Battlegrounds time split so RHAT can reveal that to everybody before the deadline tonight.
I see we've entered the phase of Hearthcenter where we basically do like a board notice.
You wouldn't think we would have to, considering one of those 5 people is also the head of Battleground
The
Series.
architect of
We'll
Battlegrounds,
just
yeah.
call her out on the show. So feels like high school all over again. Yeah, hey German Shep, if you could turn your permission slip in, please, that would be great. Thanks.
Nice.
All right, well, we're going to swap this thing over. So we'll be moving to a 10-minute delay, of course, for the match. So the stream will effectively be out for 10 minutes here while we get that going. Jammies is going to stick around and help us cast. Me and Lotus and Jammies will be doing this thing. I appreciate the finger guns because we don't have the thumbs up from... What was that, Lotus?
I won't be able to say actually, so I'm going to wish everyone a good night. Enjoy this match. It's going to be insane.
All right. Well, thank you, Lotus. Thank you, Jammies, for being on the show. Always fun to have you back.
It was fun. I had a lot of fun today. It definitely made me miss hanging out with you every Wednesday. Maybe I'll try and see if I can get back on here.
Ooh, all right.
We will be minus a co-host coming next season.
Brushy Tuna is getting deployed, so it will we will need a replacement there. So could slide right back on in. All right, Mako. Good luck. We will see you in 10 minutes. Well, we'll see you in real time in a few minutes, but everyone will see you in 10 minutes.
We're starting soon, bud.
All right. We'll be turning the stream on over. So see you all in 10 real time minutes.